Hey folks, what's up? Welcome to your Hex Minis. And today you're going to see me paint non-metallic metal. Or try, anyway. Now this video is a collaboration with Essex Boyz. If you haven't seen his channel, please do so. He's an excellent builder and converter, really good painter, and a really cool guy. So go see his video, his Gorzag video, and give him some subs and give him some likes. I'm really excited to see his Gorzag video. Now the kind of spin on this collaboration video is new techniques. Essex and I each chose something for the other to try. Essex chose non-metallic metal for me, thanks. And I chose stippling for Essex. So be sure to check out how he does with his stippling. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Now, non-metallic metal is kind of a divisive technique. Some people absolutely love it, some people absolutely hate it. Now, I've never tried it because even when it's done really well, most of the time I'm just not a super big fan of the look of NMM. I've always definitely appreciated it, but I tend to really like true metallic metals painted sort of in a non-metallic metal way. Now, since this is my first time trying non-metallic metal, I'm not even going to attempt to give any sort of tutorial or anything like that because I'm fully not qualified to do that. I did find one little thing that I kind of stumbled across that I will show you how I did, and that's for the shells in the ammo box and the one hanging on his chest. So be sure to stick around near the end and see how I did that. Stick around and see how the whole thing turned out. I watched a lot of videos on how to do non-metallic metal, and I sort of followed kind of a mixture of a few different video techniques. I will leave the links to those videos down in the description. So check those out if you're interested in non-metallic metal at all. To do the steel parts of this model, I started out following one of Vince Venturella's tutorials on doing non-metallic metal steel weapons, and it actually turned out pretty nice. And in fact, it was kind of too nice for orcs. It was too well polished and maintained. So I decided not to do the whole glazing method and instead used little lines blocking in the same areas that I did first. This made a much rougher look. And after finishing the checks on the blade, moved on to the shoulder pad. The choppa and the shoulder pad were both done pretty much exactly the same way. They both started out with a base coat of dark sea blue, and then moved up through various grays up to a cool off-white. I did this by letting each individual brush stroke be seen, and just go over the same areas, but each time stepping up in color, covering a smaller and smaller area. Parts of this model I had to paint multiple times. I just couldn't get it to look right, especially the boots. The boots I ended up painting 4 times and finally called it good enough. But here's the part that I'm probably the most happy with, and it's the shells in the ammo crate and the one on his chest. To paint the shells, I started out with a base coat of XV88 and used that to cover the entire shell, the casing and the bullet tip. After that, I put on a pretty heavy wash of Agrax Earthshade. Then went back in with the XV88 and brought back that base color in all but the recessed areas. Then I moved on to Plague Brown and started to glaze that in, being sure to stay inside the XV88 area. After that was just a very small highlight of ivory mixed with a tiny bit of the XV88. And then for the casing of the shell, I used the Vallejo yellow ink and just basically put it on thinned out as a filter over the entire casings. Then for the bullet tips, did the same thing, but this time using Vallejo Flesh Wash ink. And that's pretty much it. The shells are done. They look pretty good, I think. This was a huge learning experience for me. I've always appreciated non-metallic metal. I had an idea of how difficult it was to do, and that appreciation is even more now. It's not something that I've ever done before, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but it was definitely fun trying it for this project. If you like this kind of stuff and other orky content, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you will know when all of these videos go live. If you want to support the channel in any way, there's multiple ways to do it, including BuyMeACoffee, Patreon, lots of other things. All those links are down in the description. So let's take a look at how this guy turned out.